I'll say one of the most disappointing things this last season that we saw was the lack of events won by green decks. Now, to me, green has had some of the strongest decks and just most powerful offense and defensive tools that we've had in the Kid Q format, but something was kind of holding any of these decks back. Now, these are decks like Namek-Ku. We even saw, Green Gohan still kind of taking a stab at things, and even Mil Zamasu. But all of these decks seem to sort of falter, and I couldn't really figure out why. But I do think Green has a pretty decent chance of doing well this year, and this might be at least Green's last chance of maybe winning an event, because the Green support that we received in the last set is pretty mediocre. As fun as the Piccolo deck and the Green Adventure Time deck looks, I don't think either one of those are winning an event anytime soon. So the deck we're going to go over today is going to be probably my best choice for anyone playing Green at Nationals, which is going to be Green Vegito. As always, if you guys do enjoy the content, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate all of the support. And let's get into the deck profile and let's talk about this leader. So Vegito is a deck that, to me, I also talked about this as well. I thought this deck was pretty disappointing when it first came out. I thought the deck would have done better, and I think Namek-Ku just sort of took the reins as the best green deck and as the successor to Gohan. However, I don't think that is necessarily the case. I think that particular format, I think Namek-Ku might have been a better deck. However, I think as we're shifting a little bit away from that format, and I know Kid Q's still going to be relevant, but we have so many new decks, I think this is going to open up things, especially for Vegito. I personally think Vegito is the successor to Gohan. And Gohan, as we know, basically ran an entire format until the deck basically had to be nerfed until out of existence, with nerfing the Z leader and the card that allowed you to go into your Z leader for free. Vegito is, again, the closest thing we have to Gohan. Why do I say that? It's going to be because of how this deck has the ability of playing defense, which we'll talk about once we get to those cards. So first, let's go over the leader. Activate main, you add a green card from your hand to your Z energy, and you search top 5 for a green Saiyan to draw without having to attack, which is very, very important. You also can search out your Ptoria extra card from your deck for free once per game, which also gives you a lot of deck knowledge. And you can awaken at 2 energy or at 4 life. The 2 energy, you also need the green Z Unison that costs 2 in play. Then you draw a card, restand an energy, and then go down to 6 life. Now, on the other side, you can activate the energy cost of Ptoria in your hand with reduction of 3 green energy, which is important, which is going to be the extra card we're going to talk about. When this card attacks, so you can draw a card, or you can play a Goku or a Vegeta from your drop area in rest mode that cost 1. Essentially, if this card didn't already have enough effects, activate main, you choose one of your green Vegito cards, place all the cards under that card into the drop. This card gets 10k for the turn, so you can kind of bean your leader as well for the almost like double bean for your leader, which is pretty cool. I mean, making yourself a 25k leader is nice. It would have been better if it would have been an activate battle step, but I can understand maybe why they didn't, just because of how strong it potentially could have been. The most important card in the deck is going to be this Ptoria card here. So this is a field spell. When this card is played in the battle area, you draw one. This card gets reduced by 3, meaning you can play this card for free. Activate main if you have 3 more energy and you choose 1 Son Goku and 1 Vegeta card, both green with the energy cost of 4 or less, from among all cards in your Z battle area or battle area and place them under this card. You may reveal 1 mono green Vegito card from your hand, same amount of your green energy as that of the card's specific cost to rest mode. If you do, play the card revealed on top of this card. So a lot of text there, but basically what you can do is whatever the specific cost is of that card, not the energy cost, not the Union Ptoria effect. It's going to be the specific cost on the top of the card here. So you can see like Ptoria has 3 here. You can then basically spend that many energy to play the card, which allows you to play out a lot of really strong cards for very, very cheap. You just need a Goku and a Vegeta in the Z energy and or in the battle area. Right, so we have 3 and 4 of the 1-drop Vegetas. Both of these cards do the same exact thing. They either draw on play, or you can add a Ptoria back from the drop area, which is sometimes better because you can also play out Ptoria and then draw a card. So that's also very, very good. This card is live as soon as you awaken, and you can just play it out there and just kind of set it out there. And It also can be a target for, being able to tap itself if you're attacking into like a yellow deck and they play Mecha Frieza or Vegito and things like that. So that's kind of cool as well. Then we have Goku, the God Challenger. You play it for 1. When this card's played, you draw a card and then place a Vegeta from your drop into your Z energy. 4 or less. And when this card attacks, it gets 10k for the battle. So this card becomes a 25k for 1 energy that also draws a card on play, which is really nice. So this card allows you to add a Vegeta into the Z energy, so then you can use these cards for the Ptoria effect. We also have 3 of the Searchers. You can discard this card from your hand to add a Goku, a Vegeta, or a Vegito 7 or less to your hand. You also can play it for 1, and then when you play it, you add a Ptoria from the drop area to your hand. So it's almost like a pseudo draw 1, essentially. 4 Paragus Super Combos. Essentially what I did, I took a portion of this list from the most recent list that topped. I think it was Andrew Klinger's list, and I adjusted some stuff just for my own personal benefit. I know one thing that he was playing was the 2 Goku super combos, and my guess is he did this because it's another Goku target, so it allows you to be able to, you can use your leader effect, you can use the Ptoria effect since you would combo with the Goku anyways, put it into your Z, and now you have a Goku in your Z energy to use for Ptoria. That's, I'm assuming, why he did it. I just like the effect of Paragus just a little too much to want to put the Goku in there. If you want to follow his lead and put the Goku in there, I would say do that because, he obviously did very, very well with the deck. So take his word for it as well. I'm just saying, just for my video sakes, that's why I'm doing it. Now I am running the 5 drops. I am running 2 of the promo and 3 of the standard SR that came in the set. The promo, well, for one, this card costs 2, right? So this card costs 2. When he's played, you draw a card and you KO a card, and then you can combo. When this card attacks, use 1 card from under this card in the combo. So this actually allows you to basically use the Goku and the Vegeta that you have on board, just Z energy fodder, essentially, right? And then you get to swing twice for 25k. This guy's a little bit different. He's a 15k deflect. You can play him for free. When you play this card, place this card in the owner's drop, choose one of your opponent's battle cards 3 or less and KO it. Then add up to 1 Goku and up to 1 Vegeta that costs 1. And without the super combo effect from your drop to your hand. So this allows you to add, basically, it's almost like a double draw, which is nice. And you can do this for free as well. So that is pretty cool. And then we have one of our first big Vegitos that we can play, which is Hyper Rush. So this card, again, the Union Ptoria effect here does not matter. For the Ptoria extra card, we can do this for 2 energy, right? So this is a 25k triple strike. When you play it, you choose a battle card on your opponent's board and a card from your opponent's hand, place them in the drop, draw 2, and then you may take 2 life. This is good to do if you want to get the Force. You have access to Paragus. But being able to do this, you get the pop a card on board, pop a card from their hand, swing 25 triple strike. This card's never going to really hit early. I feel like most decks should be playing around it. If it does, very shocking. But it really, realistically, with the amount of negates in the game now, this card probably won't hit that early. Later on in the game, this card becomes a little more effective. Now, here's where the deck, I think, it's a little more defensive here. We have 4 King Cold, 1 Frieza, and 3 of the cooler counterplays. So this is our little Frieza clan defensive package here, right? So Frieza needs needs a Unison in play, which we'll be able to play out from our Z deck. Cooler and King Cold have their powers, their cost reduced for extra cards being certain areas. So King Cold is reduced by 1 for each extra card in your battle area, going down to 1 as the specific cost. So Ptoria counts as an extra card. If we play our Z extra, that also counts as an extra card. So now we have 2, basically allowing us to play this guy for 1. And then if our leader is attacked, our opponent has to discard a card each time. That part isn't as relevant, I feel like. What's relevant about it is that it is a battle card floodgate that we can use that's not dormant and not uneasing, right? So it just gives us another answer, and just gives us just a little extra defense. And then if it decides, if it lives, now we have a 15k body on board that we can swing with. Cooler is, I think, the better out of the 2. During your opponent's turn, reduce this card's cost in your hand by 1 for each green extra in your battle area and in the drop. So this card can go down to being 1 cost. So if you have a Z Unison, a Ptoria, and then a card in the drop area, this card now costs 1. When this card's played, you get to place the battle card being played if it's 4 or less in the drop area instead of being played, and then your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, they discard a card. So this package here gives you a lot of defensive tools, and if you notice, a lot of these cards, both the King Cold and the Cooler, these cards are both played in Gohan pretty heavily, right? You have your Hyperbolic Time Chamber plus playing the Z extra card. Now you have access to all these defensive tools. This card is going to be really good in this format, primarily because of the most, I would say the most powerful red card, second most powerful red card that came out is the UI Goku barrier blocker, right? He does not have deflect. So you can play this card and send that card right to the drop area, and now they don't have access to it, right? And then they can discard a card from their hand. So this is really, really good. It could be live as early as like turn 3, which is pretty good, which is probably the turn that they're going to be able to play this, because I think your opponent needs 3 energy in order for you to play the UI Goku. So it's something to keep in mind. We have 2 Bulgent, which is, again, just another defensive card here. This is going to be for the decks that are going to be going into some sort of Z battle card early, like Zamasu. If your opponent plays a card you just don't want to see, something like Defeating the Demon, you can just pop this, and then it hits anything 2 cost or less. And then you can also, you can't do the top effect or the bottom effect because your leader is, you're not going to have Bojacks in your Z deck. But you can at least play it for 1. Very strong card. Very, very strong card. 3 Homicidal Clones for our defense. 4 Dormant. 3 unusing. I think this is pretty typical about most green decks, right? Then we have our big boss monsters. So we have 2 of the Gohan and Goten. Cost 1 if you have a Z extra in play. And when this card attacks, you get to take 2 markers off of your opponent's unison, which is going to be really strong in a lot of matchups, because a lot of decks are playing unisons. There's a lot of decks in the new format that have really strong unisons, whether it's red or yellow or blue or black even. Like, you can just remove a lot of basically just kill a unison almost by this card. But when one of your green Saiyans deals damage to your opponent, you can choose one of these effects. You either KO a card, or your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. So this is any of your green Saiyan cards. So this is your leader, this is one of your other battle cards, this is like a Z battle card. Any of those cards, as long as it has the Saiyan trait, this will trigger it. We have 3 Solidarity, of course. Why when you run Solidarity, it's your best 2-drop battle card you have. Then we have All Out Super Warrior. This card will cost 3. And this is a barrier, triple attack blocker. When it's played, you pop a card ignoring barrier, and then if your opponent has 3 or more life, you place 1 of their life into the drop, so you can take them to 2. And then it's a 35k triple attacker, which is really difficult to get over. There's not a lot of decks in the game that can remove a 35k or a 9-drop barrier card. It's just not very possible. So this card is generally going to sit on board most of the games, unless you have something that just pops something ignoring barrier. And especially against red, other than like them using Explosive Dance, like there's really no other option they have of answering this card. This card's just going to sit on board the whole game. So then we get into just our other boss monsters here. We have 1 Ground Shaking Fury, board wipe, triple attacker with Revenge. We have Secret Idea as our Overwhelm, and then of course we are playing Purunga. I think there are plenty of secret rares you can play in this deck, Purunga probably being the best and probably the most versatile. You also have the Halo Goku that you can play as well. That's also a really good option. But I like the versatility of Purunga, being able to board wipe, being able to remove cards from my opponent's hand, or being able to tap them out, or tap them under certain cards' effects so I don't have to worry about them. I think Purunga is probably just the one you're going to see most of the time, just because of the versatility. Again, making your opponent discard 3 cards and you drawing 3 cards is sometimes what can win you a game. However, there are times where Purunga just seems like it's just kind of like a sideways advantage card. Like, it doesn't really do as much. But again, it's just kind of more there for value. I don't think you necessarily need like a really strong secret rare for green. It's because green has so many strong boss monsters. Like, this is just more just value than anything else. Our Z deck, we have 1 of the Z battle cards, turning our leader into a 30k. Now, this is on our turn. So we can become a 30k battle card on our turn, and also we can give ourselves double strike. So that's also pretty cool. 2 Bardock. This card allows us to awaken as well. So if we can't get 2 Z energy for some reason, we can use this to awaken. This card can also give any of our Saiyans, Earthlings, or Namekians blocker, and it will draw you a card. And then also you can place 1 of your Z energy in the drop to make your opponent discard a card, which I don't think a lot of people do that effect. We have 2 of the Vegito, which is the one that came with the deck. This one can Z charge cards and also draw you a card. You can use this effect to charge like the green DBR and then tap an energy and blow something up. This card also KOs a card on swing, which is really strong as well. We have 2 Broly Tyrants, just a good way of just removing a card, having a little double striker at the end of the game that you want to use. 1 Mighty Blast, 1 You Fool, since we are playing the Ground Shaking Fury, this is a card that actually works with this. So we can play this for free if we have a Goku that costs 8 in play. So this also will trigger off of the Solidarity. So if we don't have this out yet, because this card costs 4, we can play Solidarity. Play this card for free, and now we have our second extra card that we can use. So even if we're not going to use the U full effect, we can still play it. So now we have access to King Cold and for Cooler for a little bit cheaper. And then we have one Bojack, which can just be used just to pop something else as well. Alright, so now our side deck, we have 2 Majin Exterminators for hand destruction, so for the green mirror matchups, we'll side that in. Blue Impulse for black and red decks that play a ton of battle cards. We can use this either for 1 or 2 energy to pop their entire board. 2 Koitsekais for non-green matchups, or if I guess if you're playing against Zamasu. 2 Trunks. This probably would be more if I thought Zamasu was going to be more prevalent. But this is your indestructible removal. You don't necessarily need the barrier removal because you can play Solidarity, which is a little bit of a better card. But this card also reduces the Z extra cards. The first one you play by 1, so you also can play those for free as well. The bottom effect, we don't play Earthling tokens, so that part doesn't matter. This is just more barrier removal and also indestructible removal. 1, Hunt of the Demon God. If we're playing in the green matchups and we're having to deal with someone who's playing Dormant or Uneasing, we can use this against them. 2 of the green DBRs. I keep saying DBRs, but the SGRs. I said that earlier, didn't I? Tap 1 when you combo it to remove 3 markers off of Unison, which is really good in the Jiren, really good into Broly, all these other decks that are playing Unisons. 2 Omen of Evolution. This is going to be, because it's a side deck card that also is searchable. You can play this into any matchup that needs to awaken by Z-charting a card. So they combo a card, you combo this, blow up the card in the combo area, so now they don't get the combo effect. And then 2 Fated Rivals just for a little more barrier removal, and it's also the Double Striker that has barrier, so it's a little bit harder for some colors like red to hit. So that is my Vegito list. Again, I took a little bit of inspiration from Andrew's list, and this kind of changed a few things around, which I didn't think there was much to really change with this list. I felt like it was really good. So this is kind of what I got for you guys today. I changed a little bit with like the side just because I felt like would probably be better to kind of prepare it out for Vegeta a little bit more. So that is the list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This will be the last video we make probably before Nationals. So after that, we'll probably post some of the other decks that maybe I would have played at Nationals, and then maybe do just a little bit of coverage of that as well. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys have a good time at Nationals, and I'll see you guys in the next video.